talking with Anne de Villar. The longtime resident is also the guardian of Garneau's community plan.
Garneau is a very old community and was a very stable community. But in the 60s, when the suburbs were developed, people started moving out to the suburbs. And it created a vacuum in here. And so into the vacuum came developers and speculators and a lot of student housing, which was rental, and so people were not particularly good about keeping it up.
De Villar says that trend changed in the mid-1970s when families started moving back to enjoy the character and convenience of Garneau's central location. She says one development in particular grabbed the community's attention.
Or College Plaza, which is over here, which is huge. It's a complete city block. It's way beyond any kind of density allowed under anything, even in those days. It was just far, far too big for this small area. That was sort of the breaking point where we looked at that and said, no, we don't want this. We don't want the whole place to look like that, because that's what would have happened. We would have had college plazas across the entire community. The other problem we have around here is parking and traffic, because we're right next to the university. We're right next to the hospital. There's thousands of people walk through here every day and bike through here and drive through here. So there's a huge pressures on a really quite small area of land.
These pressures combined motivated Community League members to take action.
So they started to do two things. There was two prongs happening. One was to fight the developers, fight the high-rises, appear in front of City Council, the Development Appeal Board, try and stop the high-rises, and at the same time to ask City Council for a plan. And that was made possible because the Planning Act changed at that time and brought in these community plans. It's not so much that you have to prepare ahead, but you do have to have some sense before you go in of the sort of overall philosophy, the overall concept that you're looking for. I think for any community more towards the center of the city these days, you are going to have to take some extra density. It's not going to be single family housing, block after block after block. Everybody knows what the rules are, and so for both the community and for the developers, they know what the rules are, they know what they can do, and then you work within that framework. It's meant stability. It's meant people have put a lot of money into houses in here. It's meant we've got new housing as well, especially in South Garneau. There's a lot of new housing going in there. And it's just made life that much easier dealing with all of the development pressures, dealing with the city and so on. Because now the development officers say to the developers, well, have you talked to the community first?
I'm Nancy Rempel. Join me next time for another great Community League story.